So I've been listening to a bunch of, or not listening, but reading a bunch of Walter Line's books, and like pretty much just like a chapter or two a day. Sometimes I get really into it, and I'll read half the book in one sitting. But it's just like I like to read it nice and slow and apply it chapter by chapter. And like this last week was really busy, so like I would go to work and then come home, and it's already dark. I'm tired, so like I would just read, meditate on it. Have like a nice little self chat with myself, and then go to bed. That was pretty much my entire week. And then like I still have to go to work later, but whatever. But one thing that's really stood out to me in this one was the less of me, more of him, aka less of me, more of God, more of universe, more of source. But for the rest of this video, I'm just going to say God, because that's my understanding, that's my connection with it. The less of me, more of God, because the human mind, you being Bob, you being Stacy, you are limited when it comes to self. You're in the human thought. This is like why in manifestation people find it so hard to drop the thing that they want so bad. They can't believe that they already have it. They have to keep feeling like they have to do something. I have to keep doing something. I have to keep thinking about it. I have to keep feeding it. And in a way, yes, but not in the mind of the human law. When you are in natural law, that's where you get messed up. When you're in spiritual law and you keep feeding it your belief, then that's what will happen. If you don't believe something can happen, it won't happen for you. A lot of people, like when I tell people I'm vegan, the first thing I always tell people, or the first thing they always tell me is, oh, I couldn't do that. Then no, you can't. Whether you think you can or you can't, you are correct. You see what I'm saying? And that's kind of like the bridge between natural law and spiritual law. If you believe you can do something, it's done. It can be done. It's possible. If you don't think you can do something, you won't. Oh, I can't do that. I can't break that record. I can't get that girl. I can't get that promotion. I can't get that money. It doesn't work for me. Then you're right. And you'll continue to be like this little self-loathing sad sack. Or you can step into spiritual law and enter what Lanyon wrote was the "it is done" consciousness. This is pretty much where he said Jesus was, the "it is done" consciousness, the making himself as God. Because if you're at the level of God, then that means you could do things. We were supposed to be like almost like not well, he said co-creators, but I don't really think I can verbalize it correctly. But pretty much like everything is already done. So when we think we're creating, we're really not. We're kind of just we are just shedding light on something. You see what I'm saying? Like he gave a really good example. It's like you don't walk into like an old art museum, like an old abandoned art museum, and turn the lights on and say, I've invented all these paintings on the wall. You just simply discovered it. Well, when people are waking up, when they are starting to become more aware to the light, then that's what we're doing now. So we can't create anything new. That's why there's the old saying, there's nothing new under the sun. Because it's all here. It's just, you just shine some light on it and now you can see it. So like everything that you want already exists. The dream husband, the dream wife, the money, the riches, the promotion, the job, everything already exists. You just have to shine light on it and have faith. And you need to start operating at spiritual law. Okay? Think about it like this, right? People always make it sound like it's so hard to manifest. People always make it sound like it's so hard to do this and that, to have trust. How do I drop it? How do I not want this? Like, people always trying to manifest the exes. Like there was someone, like I was in the comment thread a couple of weeks ago talking to a dude, and I was like, yo, there's many people out there. But but how do I drop it? How do I do this? I'm like, okay. And this is something I told my grandma. And I think I actually got this from Lanyon too. But I told my grandma about it. It was like, I was like, people have more faith in the mailman. They have more faith in the mailman than they do God. These people that are diehard, devout Christians, will have more faith in the mailman to deliver their message than God. Think about that. When you put your mail in the mailbox and you send it off, you don't check, you don't call 15 times after you put it in the mailbox. You don't keep opening up the mailbox to look, is it there, is it there, is it there? You put it in there and you know that this person is going to go do his job. So how is it that these people believe in God so much, where it's like, pretty much like what you tell your father in secret will be rewarded to you openly? They forget that part real quick though. You see what I'm saying? You talk to God and you have to keep asking God over and over. Hey God, so about that wife that I'm looking for. Hey God, You gonna get me that wife? Hey God, the God that created the whole world, created all the universes, created everything that is and will be. You have to question 1,000,001 times. But the postman, oh no, I believe you off rip. Puts it into perspective, don't it? Like it's one of those things that it's really crazy, and that's the human mind. That's natural law. That's why the human mind is the biggest creator of all the lies. It's like a lot of people want to do the God and devil thing, but you have to remember God created everything, even the devil. So it's like he said, like people give so much power to the evil, so much power to the sickness, so much power to the bad. But when it comes to the good stuff, when it comes to God, the it is done consciousness, oh, that doesn't exist. And once again, I'm summarizing and paraphrasing what he was saying, but like that's just how it is. This past week, like I feel like I've broken another threshold when it comes to just understanding spirituality, understanding how this matrix works, understanding how this dream works, and you have to live in that it is done mindset. It is done. Once again, I'm not very biblical, but Walter Lanyon, he speaks to me in biblical terms. So forgive me if I sound super biblical, because I'm really not. I just go with what I'm taught and it makes sense. But he was saying like how Jesus always said, "Thank you, Father, for I knew it was already done." It is done. It is already done. Everything is already done. You see what I'm saying? Well, all we're doing is shedding light on it. Light, all the spiritual people say, oh, the light is with us, blah, blah, blah. Yes, use that light in the darkness. The light always beats the darkness. You see what I'm saying? But there can't be light without the darkness, or it's just that thing. That's why there's always a duality. There's always like both sides. There's the polarities of things. That's universal law. That's spiritual law. You see what I'm saying? And we need to understand that we need to trust God, trust the universe, trust whatever to do everything that the postman apparently can do. We have more faith in the postman than God, than the universe. Ain't that crazy? But that's just my little splurb for the day. It was just one of those like really life-changing things that I've been starting to implement. I've been trying to implement the it is done mindset. Make himself as God. Jesus made himself as God and said that we can do all the things that he does and more, if not more. So I'm like, okay, I could do that. So like this whole week has just been me trying to raise my consciousness and just raising and rising and rising and rising and making myself as God. And what I've been starting to see is like it's so much easier for me to be in that it is done mindset. I'm just saying it's done, and I just thank God. It was like a perfect analogy where he was saying when you pray, you're pretty much giving thanks for the flower before the seed is even sprouted. You're giving thanks for the flower. That's all this is. It's that simple. Once again, a child can do this easier than that of an adult. So when you are trying to do this, it's just like you just sit there and you're just like, yo, this is really easy. And if you really like, the easiest way to do it is like if you have to ask if you're doing it right, you're trying too hard. If you believe something, what proof do you need? You believe it. It's like raise your hand. I give this example all the time. Lift your hand up. Boom. It's easy. It's that simple. You don't even have to think about it. Oh, but that's your body. There's people that can't do that. You see what I'm saying? Like, so you have to remember that. If you believe you can raise your hand, you will raise your hand. Boom. That's how easy manifestation is supposed to be. That's how easy it is supposed to be to believe in God more than the postman. You see what I'm saying? And you have to work on that. You have to keep leveling yourself up and just have less of you, more of him. Less of you, the human thought, more of the spiritual law of God. More of that, less of you. Because what you're going to realize is you are the only one getting in your way. Everything you are the block. You are the clog in the sink. You are the bend in the water hose. That's you. You are the one in the way. God is a perfectly ever flowing energy. The universe source is all a perfectly flowing energy. But until our human thought gets in the way, that's what messes us up with everything. If you could just say, hey, I want a new dog. You know what I'm saying? Let the perfect dog pop up to me in my life, whether it's the perfect price or I just find a stray or whatever. You just handle it. Because we have no control of how things manifest. We might attribute it to the physical things that happen. We went out and did this. I put the brick on top of the other. I put the mortar. I put the brick. I put the mortar, and I made the wall. No, The house was already there before you started building it. It was the energy starting to manifest and materialize in this dimension, and it just came through you as the vessel. That's all this is. You need to step up out of the way and just let it happen, because once you get out of the way, your manifestations will come that much easier, that much quicker. You see what I'm saying? I didn't think about this video, but this video already existed before I opened my mouth to talk. You know, they say, like, open your mouth and God will, put the words out there. Once again, I butchered that. But you know what I mean? Like, you open your mouth, the right words are going to come out. That's God, the energy flowing through you. If you just step out of the way, stop thinking about everything, and just say, hey, it is done. Thank you, Father, for I knew it was already done. So, yeah, that's it for now. I think I got the point across. If you had any cool thoughts about this, let me know. Any questions, let me know. Till next time.